everybody. I hope you've had a wonderful day today at the Dear Media Edit. This conversation is brought to you by Simply Pop, which is a juicy new soda that's not only refreshing, but it's also packed with prebiotic fiber, which is really good for your gut health, which is going to lead into our conversation that we're going to have today.
Yes. We also want to talk about just trusting your gut. And I don't know how many of you are content creators yourself, you're in the industry, you work, you're doing all the things. I think trusting your gut is a huge part of being successful in this industry that not a lot of people talk about. We all want to life hack our way through success and get to the top and get there so quick. But I think a huge part of even why we've been able to do this for so long is just trusting our gut and listening to our intuition, and partnering with the right people. There's so much that goes into it. So we have some questions here, and we're going to do a little Q&A moment.
Yep.
What does trusting your gut mean to each of you right now, and has that definition changed over time? Great question.
Yeah, I would say, and we're going to get into it in this conversation, but there's so many different facets of the idea of trusting your gut. Us as people, we're obviously human beings, but also we, in our work realm, we do YouTube, as I said. We've been doing YouTube for 13, I'm on my 13th year this year. You're on your 25th year this year.
It's only been around for 20 years. I've been on it for 25 years.
I think you're 18 though?
Yeah, I started my first channel in 2008, and you couldn't even make money then. And we're just so grateful to still be here. I think we've evolved a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of that evolving comes with also trusting your gut when you're thrown a lot of different opportunities or business ventures or partnerships, even from your team or from outside people being like, hey, you should do this, you should do this, you should start on this new platform, you should start on this. And there comes a point where you have to sit back and just be like, is this something that aligns with me and my values? Is this something that I just enjoy? Is this something that I want to do? So I think trusting your gut for me right now really lines up with that. It really lines up with, do I enjoy this content? Do I enjoy talking about these topics on our podcast? As much as we want to be a AI machine and pump out content, there also comes a point where we'll sit down and be like, hey, we had this whole outline for a podcast episode, but neither of us are really resonating with it. Let's talk about this because we actually are really passionate about, this week I was struggling with mental health. Let's talk about that. I think being able to pivot and not be a well-oiled machine is a huge part of this industry that no one wants to talk about, because as much as we'd love to, again, life hack it, be an AI robot and pump out 10 different things of content, and you just can't do that because we're humans and people want to relate to you on a human level, and we're not robots. So I think finding that line of giving yourself grace and being human first and content creator second is a huge part of trusting our guts.
Overall, trusting my gut, I think just overall is just me sitting with myself and being like, are these outside voices telling me to feel away? Is it comments? Obviously, a big part of social media is getting a lot of feedback on all the content that we do. Is it, the comments that are, saying one thing and it's making me second guess myself? Is it friends? Is it family? Or how do I actually really feel?
I'm not gonna say 100%, but 99% of the time, I can kind of differentiate oh, this is me struggling with anxiety or worrying about something that hasn't happened yet, versus I feel like my gut is always right. My therapist would tell me not to say that. But there is a difference between when I'm just anxious and when I'm actually taking time and not making rash decisions and really listening to what my gut feels like is right. And I know it's cliche, but I really think taking time and not making rash decisions, even when we first were presented the podcast idea, we took a while to sit and be like, is this something we want to do? Because if we're going to do it, we want to do it right, obviously. Obviously, getting into business with your best friend can be very messy because a lot of people tell you never do it. And I think we've navigated it in a very beautiful, beautiful way.
Okay, when you're faced with a big decision, how do you tell the difference between nerves and something actually being off?
Okay, so the one small time I wanted to be an actor, speaking of projects coming to you as an influencer and they're like, do this, and then you quickly realize, oh, that's not my calling and I should not be doing this. I had booked a film, which writer's strike, it never happened. You've never seen it, thank God. And I did some acting classes, and one of the things that stuck with me from that 9-week course was that nerves are just you being excited. So when you have something like this opportunity and you're backstage or you're going to, you're doing a really cool thing, in reality, if you can shift that mindset instead of being like, oh, I'm nervous, it's that's your body just excited for this opportunity. It really helps you understand the difference between being nervous and knowing when something's off. Like knowing when your gut has a red flag about someone or something, there's a huge, huge difference because you're obviously not excited if someone's a walking red flag. And I think that's helped me a lot personally.
Yeah, I love that. I think for me, I don't know if I could really tap into the idea of like nerves or something being off, but for me, when I read this question, I think more of like, right now, Alisha and I have been go, 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 go. We've been so blessed with so many really cool opportunities in our personal lives, in our work lives, but also at the same time, I've been really trying to figure out like, okay, well, when do you say no? And I think that can apply to anybody in work, in your personal life. Like at some point, I remember I was like, I'm going to dinner with someone every single night, and I love seeing all these people, but like I don't have any time for myself. So I think it's more, again, of trusting your gut and like coming back to yourself and being like, am I burnt out? Am I on the road to being burnt out? Do I need to take a beat? Do I need to say no to this work opportunity? I know it feels like if I say no, then it's going to deter future opportunities, but I really do believe like whatever's meant for you will find you. And I think if you say no because you need to recharge and you need to take care of yourself, that's so much more important to give you longevity in life and to be able to show up as the best version of yourself for you, your partner, your friends, your family, and in work, that it's like it's necessary that you do those things.
No, oh my God, I had so many thoughts, me trying not to interrupt. One of them is like, if you really think about it, there was a quote I heard, I'm gonna butcher it, but it was saying like, you can't create if you're constantly consuming. And if you think about, I don't know about you, me scrolling on my phone, you're just consume, 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 and then you're mad that you're not having creative ideas. Like, I'm like, Alisha, come on. Like, if I'm constantly just numbing myself to like all this other content, that's when I'm comparing myself to other people, I'm not in a creative headspace. So I've quickly learned that the more you try to just like consume, you also can't be a creative. Or you can, but you have to learn when to say.
There's a fine line.
There's a fine line. You're gonna have to learn of when you can have to say no. I need to recharge as a creative. Any small business, any freelancer understands that struggle of not feeling like you can just turn it off because you're going to miss out on another deal. You're going to miss out on, business opportunities. Or what if I don't go to this event because then I'm not going to meet an awesome networking situation? And I think what we've come to realize is like, is it even worth it for me to go to an event when I'm so exhausted? I just go take a photo and leave. Like, I should only go if I'm able to show up as one of my best selves, and I'm actually taking advantage of being in a room with really cool, awesome people, and I can network. If not, it's not worth missing the hours that I could have been doing something else, or the hours that I could just be home recharging, so I could actually go to something and make cool connections. I think especially, I'm not sure how many of you actually live here in LA, but it is a full-time job just going to events. It is a full-time job, and it's exhausting, and it's so awesome, and you kind of struggle with yourself because at one point all you dreamed of was to be invited to things. And then once you get there, you're like, you know what? I actually need to still focus on me a little bit. So I think that's one thing we've gotten really good at is saying no to things that we know deep down, is it 10 times or is it only going to be like 2 times for ourselves right now?
Okay, when things get chaotic, emotionally, socially, or online, what helps you come back to yourself?
Honestly, I feel like one thing we are both good at is we have people in our life who are non-influencers, and I know that sounds crazy, but having good people to ground you, like the amount of first world problems that we endure that we're like, wait, this isn't a big deal. Like, at least you get over yourself. Little things, which like, yes, there are things that can like be super stressful, but like being able to have people, like we have friends who are teachers, and like hearing some of their issues, like losing a kid on a field trip. I'm like, oh, wow, I can't complain about my little whatever, because that's not a big deal in comparison. And I really feel like just having people in your life, whether it's your family or friends, just staying grounded, I think that you need people to like reel you in sometimes. Even having a good team, like I know our team they'll clock me in 2 seconds if I start like getting a little whatever, There's like, hey, like you're good, we're here for you, you're good. And I think having that trust and just like good people around you is so important.
Yeah, for me, I've been doing it for so long, but comments still affect me depending on the day. If I'm having a bad day, if I'm having a hormonal day, if I'm just not doing well and something else is bothering me in life, I can get on my phone and scroll on comments and then just like want to cry and lock myself in a dark room for a long time. And so honestly, for me, just remembering it's all in my phone. I close my computer, I turn off my phone, it all goes away.
Do not disturb, love.
I need to do that more. When I finally realized that, as dumb as this sounds, I'm like, oh, I turn off my phone, it all disappears.
No, it's a weird, like,
Yes,
moment.
it feels, and like that's the thing, it's parasocialism. Also, like, it's just crazy that everything that is, our whole lives are on our phone, our whole lives are online. When you close it, boom, it goes away. I'm like, wow.
For instance, I unfollowed someone recently, which I never usually unfollow people, and I got anxiety about it because I was like, oh, it's gonna be drama and da-da-da. I was like, I never see this person, ever in real life. Like, ever. Maybe once a year, and it's for 2 seconds at an event. So why am I letting this have so much energy when in reality, it's all online? Like,
No
it's
hard
just,
feelings.
It's just, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think once I realized that I can just turn it off, I put it away, it all goes away.
Crazy.
That's really the only way that I'm able to deal with it
Yeah.
when I'm having a bad day.